welcome back to another Sims 4 building challenge. I've recently done a build that almost made me want to quit YouTube. I've used every single plant in The Sims in one singular house. So today I thought to myself, let's do the total opposite of that and let's hurt me all together, because you know how much I do love my plants. There's just a perfect combination of certain plants that I absolutely adore in this game to make all of my houses seem pristine, perfect. You know, if things are going bad, throw in Bob, for example. He's one of my favorite plants. Honestly, there's a couple that I absolutely just love, and I wish I was doing a video where I'm like using all of my favorite plants. I mean, I probably should use all my favorite items in a build. Let me know if you think that idea is cool. But today I'm going to be saying goodbye to this little guy. I'm going to be saying goodbye to Bob. This new thing. Oh my god, my heart is already breaking. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, what about this? Oh my god, I love you forever. Yeah, I will be upset today, but this is a challenge nevertheless, and I think I could do a pretty interesting job on this. So I am going to go with this Japandi kind of Japanese style. Well, not necessarily just Japanese. I want to mix Japandi style into this. I want to make it more minimalistic to try and help me with this, right? But I also have a couple of different concepts of trying to use obviously outdoor landscaping, because landscaping I'm presuming is allowed. It's just no potted plants, no like high mode plants, if you get me. But I have a couple of ideas of making the outside kind of almost come in through maybe glass, through some portals. We will see. We will do something interesting today. So as I said, we're thinking of Japandi style. Where is the front of the slot? I do not know. We're building in, what is this world called again? Mount Kamarebi. That's the one. I'm presuming this is the front because you're kind of coming off of the road, whereas this is kind of like this nice path. Although actually I have no idea where the front of the lot is. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe this is the front of the lot. Okay, well, let's build it this way. So I have an idea of making a small enough home today, but I do want there to be a second floor. Just something very simple coming out from the side of it. But I also today do want to have, wait, now what did I want to do again? I wanted to have some cool accents. What are those accents again? I do not know. What I actually wanted to achieve was a little indoor garden that you could almost kind of access through from the outside, right? So if I cover this up, okay, then almost close this off altogether. How big is this? I guess if I just go for, wait a second, this actually won't make any sense. I'll have to make it smaller, because essentially what I wanted to, oh my god, what am I doing? I forgot how to build. I actually haven't built in quite some time because I've been away. So I have actually, I've been away, so I haven't built in a while. Anyways, what I was going to do is I was actually going to use the Island Living crystal clear kind of portal thing, right? Okay, why is that glitching out so bad? I don't know. I'm just gonna make it white for the moment, because I kind of wanted to do some sort of like a balcony that your sim can almost like access and look down into the nature, if you get me. But does that make any sense? I'm not sure. And I don't think I want anything else up here. I kind of just wanted like a balcony. So do I maybe just do like 4 of these? Kind of like that. So your sim can almost like exit out on this. But then what? Then what, Sandra? What's going to happen then? You see, inside here then, what I wanted, actually I wanted there to be a little bit more greenery. What if I actually extend this out, but actually close this off with a wall? Okay, this is just looking fantastic now, guys. Fantastic. You can really, oh my god, you can really tell I haven't built in like a couple of days. Why is that disappearing for me? What is going on? Okay. Oh, okay. That's brilliant. If I do something like this, that looks pretty weird because we also have access into the house, but we will have access through this kind of weird paneling portal thing. I also then wanted to put this all up on a platform and almost have like that Japanese, almost like hallway area around the front of the house, kind of like so. Just without this wall, please. Thank you very much. But I do want to, do I want a ceiling? I think I want a ceiling. Do I? Oh, I'm not sure at this rate. Am I sure? I'm not sure. What if I do this? Ooh, that's an interesting shape. So now you see, if I do something like this, I kind of wanted the inner garden to be quite big. So you can do like a Zen garden inside here that we can kind of look through some windows at, because as I said, we will be having no plants on the inside of the house. That's why I'm trying to like somehow, why can I not put windows here? Why? What is the problem? Okay, there we go. Move objects was not on. That was the problem. I want there to be 0 plants on the inside of the house, but that does not mean I'm not allowed to put plants on the outside of the house, okay? That's what I'm telling myself, and that's what I'm hoping everyone will also agree with. So if I do a load of like windows, almost like that, right? So we'll line all of this wall with windows. That way then we'll have a nice like little inner kind of garden scenario, inner kind of garden vibe. I guess we could probably enter out onto this through that. Although no, will that be the little garden space? No, maybe not. Maybe we could do like one of these. We could really open up the space. Also, I don't even know what like the layout of this is. I'm like really planning out this weird structure, but I have no idea of the layout. So maybe let's actually do this a little bit first. So I'm thinking maybe if we do the front entrance right here. So if we're going for Japandi style, we want something simple. We want something maybe I guess earthy and wooden, but I wouldn't be too opposed to the idea of maybe adding some black into this as well. Make it very classy. Like, do we want to go for, I guess actually this door, it does have like the wooden and a little bit of like this black, but then again the black on this door, it's a stunning door, but it's not black enough. You see, when you try to match it with like a black window, they don't really match, and that really just pisses me off a lot of the time. So like, what window do I match to this? You see? Wait, I guess this one? I guess these actually aren't the worst. Do they match? Is that brown? That's black. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, if this was your front entrance, right, we could almost have like the bedroom upstairs. That's a really big bedroom actually now that I think about it. But if we have like, maybe if we have like a nice maybe dining area on this side, right? So if you have like a nice little dining table, just say for instance, dining table, bish bash bosh, Bob's your uncle. We just throw a couple of chairs down. So we could have like maybe a nice like book nook reading area over here, and we kind of like chillax here. Although actually now that I think about it, what if we make this into a sitting room? Because what if I do almost like kitchen here, sitting room, and then we have stairs up to the bedroom. Where is the toilet, you ask? Don't ask, because we do not know where the toilet's going to go. So I'm just trying to work on the house a little bit because I'm trying to figure out the style. I'm trying to figure out the floor plan. Things are a little weird in this house and I'm not sure really what to do, but I'm after doing this, right? So I put everything up on the platform, but when you come into, I suppose, the kitchen dining area, because the dining area is now moved, you go down a platform, and then over here, I'm thinking that's where I'll do the living space. Then you've got like a nice little kind of cut bit here, so that'll be your grassy planty part that will hopefully save us in all of this build. I'm not sure about this wall being here. I really don't know. I kind of wanted to enclose it a little bit, unless I do something like this and then I just use more columns. Maybe actually that's probably a better option, just to make it a little bit more like visually interesting. Yeah, maybe something like that looks a little bit better. I don't know if these windows are going to stay this color. They probably won't, but I like the idea of having like black. Also, these windows, now that there's a platform, they look a little bit weird. So now that I think about it, will I just make them smaller altogether? Since this is like a Japandi style, I did want to kind of not forget about that while I'm building and have it a little bit more suited to the style too, because I think that's the only thing that's going to save this build for me personally, I think. But yeah, honestly, picking out windows like and doors, specifically the heights of them for a platform, is just a bit of a bummer. It's a little bit difficult. Annoyingly enough, well, it's kind of annoying but also kind of fun at the same time. Annoyingly enough, the businesses and hobbies pack windows, if they were just the slightest bit longer, it would be the perfect height. But I keep using them, so I feel kind of bad continuously using this combination of windows. As you can see, kind of where my head was in the way. I really like that combination of windows, but I do feel bad constantly using it. But especially in this build, I feel like it's going to work a bit better for us, because it just looks, although I could probably make it a little lower if I just go kind of like that, so it's halfway through the wall. I feel like it looks better, and the shape and the size of the window works so well here. Oh my god, why can I not? Okay, you can clearly tell I have not built in a while. Why can't you clip to the other ones? The other one's clipped. What about you? Okay, it keeps going down. Do you see that? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. Anyways, maybe on this one I can use the other one, and we could do like something like this. And then another one here. I'm not sure. I think maybe something like that is a little bit better, because the other windows were like clipping through the platform, and I'm kind of happy with this. I think it's very bright here now, which I do not like, that brightness coming through, because you can obviously see that the lights are... Wait, what is happening? What is happening with the floor? Honestly, like why do we need things like this happening? Remove floor. Now when the floor is removed, No, wait, do I need to extend and then put these down? Yeah, I think so. Oh, Lord above. Oh, Lord above. Okay, I think that's okay. Like, even the doors here with the platforms, they look a little strange, kind of clipping through the walls. And I know I can make the walls higher, but I really don't want to. Like, I really don't want to. I like the idea that this house is kind of small, because I feel like Japanese homes are quite small. The walls wouldn't be very high. And since we're inspired by that, I think that really looks okay. I'm not sure really if I'm happy with this door, but I am going to keep going for the time being. So like the inside of the house, I do want to bring that like light wood, almost something like this. Obviously one of my favorite floor panels, sorry. But I'm almost thinking that since this is going to be a minimalistic build, we're not going to have any plants, obviously, because this is the whole idea of the bloody video. I want to add a little bit more detail. So to me, adding more detail means picking out a floor that almost has a little bit more going on. Like almost this one has like different types of, you know, sizes of wood. Like something like this now, actually. That one almost looks CC now comparing to the other one. I kind of like the idea of doing something like that. It fills the space a little bit more because visually there's a lot more detail than just say like a simple floor like that. Do you get me? So maybe something like that will really help me. Then maybe simply for the kitchen dining space, we could go with just regular kind of flooring like this, you know, something like that might be a little bit interesting to work with. And then upstairs, I suppose we could go for the same kind of wood, but we'll bring it upstairs. We'll run it horizontally. So upstairs, I have a big enough bedroom. It's extremely dark because, you know, who does lights anymore? Not me. We've got a beautiful, quite big, spacious bedroom. This will actually be a little office space. And we've got a hallway. So yeah, hallway can have like a little book nook if it wants to. We'll have a tiny little office space just for a desk. We'll have a kitchen space here, which will be quite spacious, I want to say. Then we've got a nice dining area. We've got a toilet just up in here, which I think is a nice little spot in the center just to divide the room. And then we're gonna have our living space right here, which now that I think about it, should I add a few extra windows? Like, I mean, I could add these here as well, but do I really need windows on this side? I mean, visually, probably should have windows. Like, the windows are a bit weird in this house, to be honest with you. Like, what's happening on the side of the house here? I really don't know, but I kind of like not having windows on this wall. Oh, God. I'm really struggling with this build, honestly. The back of the house looks like a weird face just staring blankly into my soul. I really don't know what's going on with this house, but I guess I'm allowed to add like nature and foliage outside of the house, so maybe that will save me a little bit. Maybe that will help me. I'd like to think you can walk on these because it would be kind of cool to come up here and then like look down on the nature. I think that would be pretty cute. Maybe I need another window up here or something. Oh God, I really don't know. I think it's just something weird about this house. It's like making me freak out a little bit. Or else, wait a second. What if I do this? Yes, 1 second. What if okay, that's clipping. Maybe it's actually the platform upstairs that I'm not really happy with. Maybe I just need regular black platform. But that's not black, that's gray. Okay, that's great. That's great. Could I do white? But then the door is clipping through upstairs. Oh, platforms. Me and platforms, huh? Actually, me and everything just don't get along. Nobody gets along here. In my life, nobody gets along. Like, there is a black trim here, but it also has like gray vibes. Not really black vibes, but maybe this is better. Is it? This one has white and black. Okay. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to add more windows here to almost make like a visual space so that you can, even when you're walking up the stairs in the hallway, you can look down into the greenery, because you're not allowed to have greenery in your own house, but you are allowed to have greenery outside. So yeah, maybe something like that. What is this house? What am I doing? I do not know. I'm kind of worried at this point. Does that look weird? Yeah, it does look weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to paint the outside of the house. I'm going to make it very, very simple now. There's going to be nothing. We might use a little bit of paneling, but we're not going to be worried. We're not going to be too stressed. We're just going to make this house normal, okay? I guess maybe we could almost make this paneled, this little portion. And the rest I could just make it like white, honestly. Just like white or black. We are happy to just move on. Yeah, that's nice actually. That's nice in Japan-y style, isn't it? Or do I make like this wall a little bit more interesting? Can I make it like black? Because that's more interesting, of course. Or else actually I can make the whole thing black. Because if you think about it, like it's such a big block. Maybe the black is actually a nice way of making it seem a little bit smaller, even though it almost made it seem a little bit more awkward. But maybe this is the type of house that we're doing. It's like a beautiful black home. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe. Wait, guys, I did not know. Wait, can I just get out of this and go back into it? So this thing right here, you know, like the knock on wood platform, I would have never really normally clicked on it, but it actually has loads of swatches, right? And the default one is the last swatch, which is red. But when you actually look through all of these, yeah, they're just the horizontal kind of like thick planks of wood. The first ones are actually small, skinny, like vertical ones that have a few nice... Oh my God, I did not know these Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How did I not know these exist? That looks so nice. Wait a second. I did not know. They're like, you see, they're like horizontal. No, those are vertical. And then these are horizontal. But then there's like a couple of different swatches of these as well. I'm blind. Like I am blind. I admit, obviously, blindness is a terrible issue with my building every once in a while. But whoa, I did not know that was a thing. Thank you very much. What if I do wood outside here as well? Would that be cool? No, maybe not. Maybe the black is actually just more minimal and more neutral. Yeah, maybe let's just make the whole thing black. This house is just meant to be like a lovely little black home. But then I'm thinking, why don't I make the inside wall here a little bit more interesting as well? Like by interesting, I mean, what if I do like green, like metal paneling? Because obviously like we're not allowed to bring a green into the house. Well, I mean, we can use like green walls in the house, but it would be kind of cool to continue that green to the inside, you know, so that when you're actually looking outside, you're like, oh, we've got no plants, but at least we've got green walls outside. That will save us, of course, you know. Yeah, I think the house is coming together. Maybe I'll do a little bit of landscaping outside myself now, you know, just like a nice path and stuff, and then we'll get into the actual furnishing, the actual challenge of this video. Okay, so I finished working on the outside of the house a little bit. So I kind of still wanted it to feel a little overgrown, but just slightly more polished and a little bit more refined. So I kind of think it's nice. Obviously, the outside nature is the only greenery that we're allowed to use. So as I said, I still kind of wanted it to feel nice so that when you look out the window, you almost have a little bit of greenery coming in. Okay, that is actually coming in, which is totally illegal. We can't have that happening. But I still wanted it to feel like a little bit of, you know, the normality happening. And I didn't use too many of like those overgrown bushes because I also thought this is Japan. I feel like they would really take pride in gardening and making sure that everything is nice and neat, so we wouldn't have too much overgrown kind of landscaping like that. So everything seems a little bit more polished. And then I did this weird like stepping stone thing with this green rug apparently. So I think that's pretty cute. So what I wanted to do next, while I was on the topic of greenery, I'm gonna get all the greenery out of my head now, and we're gonna do this portion of the video. So this totally makes no sense. I should really do this quite quickly because we need to really get into the inside of the house where we build it using no plants. But this is why I wanted to set myself up to make it look a little bit better. Actually, I could probably have like a bamboo plant somewhere as well. Would that be kind of cool? Maybe I'll throw you over there for the moment. I think that's pretty cute. Okay, what I wanted in the center is I actually wanted this little pine tree again, I think. So if I put you almost like in here, I want it to be like the visual focus. Okay, I cannot see. I want that to be like the visual focus as you come in. You're like, whoa, I love your little pine tree inside there, you know. It's like, oh, you've got no plants. Oh, that's why you've got no plants, because you've spent all of your money on plants on the outside, which makes a lot of sense, I think. So I actually really want to like fill all of this space up with as much greenery as possible, almost to the point where it's like, oh, we come in there, but like we don't really nurture these plants. We kind of let them take over, and we're really happy with that, you know, like that kind of way. I would like to do something like that, almost maybe like some of this covering your view even a little bit, so you're like, oh god, like you need to go in there with like a little bit of a tool to get rid of some of this, you know. But we're happy that we have all of this greenery because, as we said, we're not allowed to have it on the inside of the house, so that makes sense. I think this is actually going to look really cute and really wholesome. Kind of at nighttime as well. Should I add more plants? Should I add more flowers? Actually, maybe I should. Maybe I should add like at least 2 of these. I really like them. They're quite nice. Oh, maybe this thing actually as well. This is pretty cute. Yeah, so we can kind of see like a little bit of a jungle now kind of starting to appear. I wish we had this lovely lavender bush, but without the lavender. Like I wish I could get rid of the lavender from it and just have green. I think that would be pretty cute. Anyways, I am going to continue just whacking things in there. I mean, I kind of like the idea of there being like a little pathway that you can come in through there, but you almost get lost in the path. I think that's pretty snazzy. Let me put you kind of in the corner, but you will be clipping through my walls, won't you? I guess you won't. If I shove that in there as well. Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. I wanted like so much greenery. You're like, oh Lord above. Like, are you okay? Do you need me to call you a gardener? Because I will call free of charge. We will get you a gardener. Yes, some like crazy growing grass as well. It's like, oh yeah, we spent a lot of money on the outside of our house. But this portion, no, we do not care. Oh yeah, align everything underneath as well with this. It will feel thicker. It will feel better. Oh yeah, this is what we want. Like inside there, thick grass. There we go. Okay, I kind of like this. So then we would go maybe for a little bit of landscaping. I'm almost thinking like this one, or maybe actually this one. Wait, now, can I make it quite strong? If I just paint some paving stones to almost give you the illusion that there was maybe beautiful stones here before, but we actually just like the nature took over the stones. So there is potential underneath all that grass, but we just kind of liked the idea that, you know, we cannot keep, okay. The storyline is that we cannot keep these plants inside because we're just terrible gardeners. We called a gardener for the outside, so they manicured the outside beautifully. But then this portion, they were like, oh no, I'm not touching that because that's ridiculous. And that's what it is. So we had a gardener. Then they just like dropped us because they were like, oh, stop this. I'm not looking after your garden anymore. Then we couldn't keep any plants alive on the inside of the house. So we decided to just leave that there and that's what we look at. And I think that's actually pretty cute. I kind of like that idea. I think that's pretty. Okay. So I guess now that we've got that portion out of the way, we can actually move into the inside of the house. And instantly I was going to pick this Ferntastic Mr. Fern, and I was going to put that there, and I'm like, that's a potted plant, Sandra. That's a plant in a pot. You are not allowed to use that. I don't think I'm even allowed to use these, you know, like the potted plants for the windows. So I don't think so. I mean, this almost feels like a potted plant, but because it's more like a thing on the wall, I feel like I'll just leave that there. Okay. So that's pretty cute, and that now concludes everything that I'm allowed to do. You see, even from like upstairs, I think that looks pretty cute. Being able to like go up the stairs and look down into the greenery, I think that's pretty cool. Okay, right, let's move on. So this is where the actual video starts now. We are going to be building now. So let me just do maybe some wallpaper and stuff first, and then we can move in. I wonder, can we do like a nice wall like that to bring in a little bit of that wooden tone? Like, I mean, this doesn't have to feel like a Japanese house and necessarily, like, as I said, this is more so like Japan-y style. So I'm kind of happy with it going in a direction that it wants to, but minimalism 100% will be the key here. So I almost feel like maybe just like something like that, like this almost, what is this called? Solid concrete, but maybe like a brighter solid concrete because we actually want it to feel a little bit neater. But yeah, concrete walls, something like that would be pretty cool. Although, actually, now that I think about it, we could bring a little bit of green through the walls because we cannot have plants, but we can have greenery through the walls. How about them apples? Why don't we do a little bit of, like a little pop? Like, I mean, the tiniest bit because we don't want to overdo it. But I mean, I think that would be pretty interesting if I just paint all of this concrete. And then in the kitchen, I guess the kitchen can just be normal. I can just do something regular here. Why do I kind of want to bring the wood through here as well? Or should I paint the ceiling like a wooden color? Would that be cool? Wait a second. What if we do, or would that be a lot of wood then though? Maybe not in the sitting room, but maybe in the kitchen. What if we do like a wooden paneling in the kitchen on the wall, on the ceiling? I mean, that's an idea. I don't know whether that idea is going to look good, but well, it is an idea. I mean, it's kind of cool. Maybe not necessarily that ceiling, but yeah, not that ceiling maybe. I kind of like the idea of that being a wooden ceiling, but also it doesn't really match the rest of the house. So I don't think in this house it will particularly work. So maybe I'll just do white concrete everywhere, but I like the idea. Whether I can execute it correctly, I don't think so. So maybe let's just make like a white kind of concrete a ceiling. Or maybe actually we could try it in the bedroom. Maybe the bedroom could be an idea because maybe we could just have like wooden panels. Actually, these ones were really pretty. So maybe we could just go for these in the bedroom. I'll try and make it work in the bedroom. Okay, so we've got the majority of things painted now. So do I want to continue the wood throughout the whole house? I kind of feel like it looks a bit better with the wood everywhere. So maybe I'll do that For the bathroom, more than likely I will just go for this. Although wait now, what if I go for these new ones? I could add some green. Though maybe we could do like some blue or something. Or maybe if you just do white with like a pop of blue or something. Oh, or maybe black. I really like this wall, but I wish they give us that as a floor as well. I don't understand why we're not allowed that as floor. Why do we have everything except for that as floor, you know? Oh yeah, I'll do something like that. I don't know whether that's Japandi style, but that is the style we're going for today. Okay, I kind of like the way it's looking now. Okay, so I did this upstairs as well. So we've got like a nice little grey accent wall, and then we've got like a nice little concrete green as well, just to bring in a little bit of greenery. So now comes the hard part. Well, it's not going to be that hard to furnish this. I think furnishing this will be quite pretty. But you will see me probably instantly as I go into like furnishing, I go into the plants category. Like that's not good. You will see me struggle to pick out objects that are not going to be plants. Like as in like you will see me place down objects and then instantly I'll need to like end the cabinets with a plant. And that to me is a little bit scary because I know how much I work like that. So anyways, I want to do like quite a minimalistic look for the kitchen. And I almost always think of these counters as like almost like Japanese counters for some reason. I don't know why. These, I think I did a video before where I had to use only one of each item, and I think I used these cabinets, and I think I did like a Japanese style home, and that forever just reminds me now of like a Japanese counter. I don't know why, I don't know what for, but it's just the way it is. Maybe I'll use this actually. That could be an idea to maybe use something like that, but I just don't want it to be that creamy looking. Other colors do we have? Oh, we could do black. I guess black would be an idea. Maybe we could add some black accents. We've got a new fridge actually that came with a new kit. Maybe I can try and use that one. It almost feels like in black it's a bit much. Maybe we should do white actually now that I think about it. But now it's not going to match the fridge though, is it? Does that look weird? Kind of. Also, I feel like we need a bin here. This kitchen too weird. I really want to use this fridge, but I don't know whether this makes any sense to go for something like that. I guess maybe that does make sense. Where does the sink go then? Like, what is this house? Oh, wait, what if I do oven actually here and then sink all the way over here? We've got a new clutter sink as well, actually. That could be a fun thing to use. There's like some clutter in there. That's fun. Oh no, I think I need to get rid of this. Wait a second. I'm like struggling with this build. It should be like an easy peasy build. Like I should know what I'm doing. I'm struggling. Like I'm struggling hard for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna put a bin here. Naturally, I would go and add like a plant here or something. I can't. So what if I do like a little surface, like a little trolley of some sort? Like a little miscellaneous barrel or something. I don't know. Like she's pretty cool. I know this came with like the garage pack. Okay, not that one. But this actually is like a pretty cool little thing. Not a match here, but you get the idea. You could put like some cool like stuff on it. Actually, yeah, I should use some of the clutter stuff. That's an idea. Yeah, like even this, I feel like that could be used as like a little thing, you know? Like you put some stuff away here. Why don't the kitchen clutter items appear in miscellaneous kitchen decorations? Why? Why is that, I wonder? I do not know. What's going on? I made this little thing here. I never really use these squares, but I kind of thought it would be cool to have... Oh, wait, now we could use this stuff. Oh, I forgot about this. This is pretty cool, actually, but it won't really work with the windows. I feel like the windows are the backsplash, so maybe we don't need that. But this stuff, we can actually put a lot of cool stuff in there. Like, actually, maybe not the weighing scales, but we could have, like, some of these here. You know, you could have, like, some green peas, some Cheerios or whatever. We can have, like, some standing up here as well. I think that's really cute. Yeah, we can make this work. I really like this kit. It has a few little interesting pieces. See, over here now I'd add a plant, but I can't. So I need to use other things. And I guess thankfully with this pack, I could probably try and use something different. Oh, I like the way two things fit here. Wait, now what if I put the tall one up here by itself, slight angle, and then I try put something else next to... Is that a potted plant? Oh, no, can't use that one. Oh my God, is that a potted plant? I feel like it is. Ooh, that's tough because that is like a little miscellaneous item, but I think that is a potted plant. Oh no. Also, this is meant to be like a Japandi minimalistic home, and I'm putting in so much clutter that it kind of makes no sense. That's wrong, I think. Okay, so I finished doing the kitchen. I did a little step up here because I actually thought it'd be... Okay, I just realized this thing is here. Remove that actually. Can I put this anywhere else? Maybe I can actually do... Wait, now, if I do two of them back there... I know it's overkill, but at this point, I mean, if I'm gonna be allowed to use greenery, I'm gonna use it to its best ability today. So yeah, I did a little step up to go outside here, so you can actually, you know, you can actually enter this little garden space through here as well. And I actually thought that was pretty cool because when you're standing in the kitchen, you have like no access to greenery because like this is just like a horrible wall out that window. So maybe I thought that you could just like, you know, quickly exit out and go and enjoy some nature. I hate the way the doors are clipping through because it is a platform. Honestly, I'm just gonna ignore it because I like the concept. I like the step up. It gives me that Japanese vibe. And then yeah, everything is just quite minimalistic here. We've got a little bit of clutter in the sink, which I actually think is an interesting balance. And then for a backsplash, I actually did a mirror because I think that's a very minimalistic way of adding detail and light and space into an apartment or a house. So yeah, I think that's pretty cute. So that is our kitchen. I'm actually pretty happy with this dining space. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is pretty cute and pretty would have actually wanted it to be. Maybe here though, what I will do is, wait a second, maybe I'll just do a nice big painting. And again, I'm like thinking, since I'm not allowed to use greenery, like do I use a painting that has some green in it? Like what do I do? Or do I just do something, okay, that's not how I want this to look. Do I want something a little bit more big and modern? So that since we're not allowed greenery, maybe we're allowed like big pieces of art. Like what do I put here? Like a lovely plant would go nice here. Oh my God, I'm actually gonna lose my mind. A lovely plant would go nice there, but no, Sandra, you're not allowed lovely plants today. Just so bloody annoying. Like what do I put in here? Like just imagine, right? I'm not gonna put it down, but just imagine like you here. Perfect. Bob's your uncle. Like that is sorted. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. Maybe just like a little end table. Or maybe just like a little seating area actually. Maybe like a little chair of some sort. Like I actually don't know. Like what do I do? Like do I put you there? Like a lonely chair? Like watching everyone eat? What's going on? What do I put in that corner? I'm gonna just leave that chair there for the moment. I'm gonna add some curtains and I'm gonna move on because I'm a little stressed out to say the least. Don't really like the idea of covering the windows because the windows are the only thing that are bringing in the greenery from outside, but we cannot go without my curtains and we will not go without my curtains. I'm gonna do the bathroom off camera so we don't have to worry about that. Now let's worry about the sitting room because as soon as I put down a couch, I need to put down a plant on either end of it. There's gonna be either a plant or a little bedside locker next to my couch. And how am I gonna do this without using a plant? I don't know. How am I going to make this room look nice without a little pop of green? We will see. I actually kind of like the idea of this couch here because I feel like that couch is a bit of a statement to say the least. And also I feel like we shouldn't face the wall like that. I feel like we shouldn't face away from the greenery. I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the couch away from the wall, but I'm almost going to like center it like this. For feng shui, I think you're not supposed to have your couch touching a wall. I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about feng shui. I'm just making things up. Then I feel like we could do a nice little like beigey little rug to set the scene, mark the space. This is the sitting room. We're all a fan of sitting around this rug, okay? Then I almost feel like these from the Businesses and Hobbies would actually be an interesting touch to this space, but they don't really work with the wooden. Although wait, does that look a bit better? Like the warm wood, do these kind of match together? I feel like they do. I feel like that almost is giving me Japanese style because isn't that what the inspiration was for the items for that pack? I think it was like Scandinavian, but slightly mixed with a little bit of Japandi. I think so. I'm going to do a little accent maybe table here, really because I need to do some sort of like an accent wall so I don't accidentally put down a plant because that could be a problem. Wait a second. Can I put down maybe you in like a nice warm tone? Maybe, oh God, where do I put the chairs? This room is actually a little bit of a weird space because what I wanted to do is I wanted to put a nice maybe like mirror above this, you know, maybe something quite spacious. Maybe this one actually. This one's pretty cute. We can make it like wooden as well. And then a plant will go in there, wouldn't it? That plant will go in there. What am I supposed to do? Like this is struggle bus, struggle central, struggle, whatever you want to call it. But I'm struggling. Or maybe I'll put that there. Maybe we need like a coffee table. Could you help us? Oh, I'm not sure. There's so much wooden vibes going on. Maybe it's the couch that's the problem. Hold on a second. I like that couch. If there was like a longer version of this, I'd be obsessed. But I'm not obsessed at the moment. I'm really starting to struggle. Can you see I'm like itching my arm because I'm like nervous because I don't know how to make this house look nice. I put in a lot of hours. I put in a lot of effort into the outside of the house now, and now what? You know? Now what? I guess I could go for this, but I don't like the dark wood on the legs, so that's not ideal. Could I go for like total accent vibe? No, we cannot do that. But what about you? Do you give me something? No, you can't. Okay. None of these couches are doing anything I'm asking them to. Maybe this one. I could maybe go for green with this one. I don't know why this couch always reminds me of like a CC couch. Like, is this CC? Like, it's obviously not, but it just reminds me of like a CC couch. If I add then you next to that, so there's a bit of balance. I know you're like walking into the room and you're instantly like bashing your shin on this chair here, but maybe that's just the way, it's gotta be. Everything that's placed down here is placed down for a reason. And again, I feel like a fool adding curtains that almost take up a half of the window. But I just need something, because if I'm not going to be able to have plants, at least I need other decorations that I like. Also, why can't you just match up everything else? Why are you being difficult? You should know I'm struggling, so help me. Don't be difficult. Okay, maybe I won't put any curtains on this wall, but then again, what do I do on this wall if I can't have plants and I can't have curtains? This is bad. I mean, I knew that this would have been hard for me because I rely a lot on, and I will say this with like full responsibility. I rely a lot on the exact same objects over and over. I guess when you are somebody that does really appreciate art and you are an artist yourself, you will know that like once you get stuck on a couple of items that look nice, it's hard to not use them because you want all of your builds to look nice. So that's why I get so stuck and I get so stubborn with a couple of items, you know, that I then struggle to use different ones. And I don't even know what I'm trying to tell you with this story, but just know that I am struggling because I use plants, obviously. Like just imagine this. Like, imagine that there. Build is finished. But no, I cannot. I guess I could add my tray. My tray is not a plant. So that's like an object that we like. I guess maybe a long-standing plant. Obviously not plant, Sandra. A lamp, maybe, in the corner. Like, maybe something funky. Maybe something with a little... Okay, not that one. Oh, Lord above. Why did I even click that one? What if we had like something like this? Like a little bit of an angle, it takes up the space. It's like working overtime to make this look pretty. Maybe some art up on the wall. I think maybe some art. I'm struggling because I want to put like an end table, but what the heck do I put on an end table if I'm not allowed to have plants? Actually, maybe this green would look cool. Do we add Japanese vibes? Maybe we do. Maybe I need actually, wait a second. If I just put down like a small painting, but then what? No, wait, if I move everything over a tad, okay? Everything goes over one bit. And then over here, we add some Japanese style paintings. Maybe I could even make my own like collage vibe. Oh my God, there's so many decals. Cannot see anymore. Where is my favorite scroll? I can't see. Is this one my favorite? No, it's not. Where's my other favorite one? Sometimes I stop. Oh, there we go. Sometimes I stop and I'm like, I'm blind. Like, I'm actually like, I cannot see the world in front of me. What if I do like you there? Okay. And then right next to you, we could do, what about one of these new paintings? It's actually kind of cool, but is that a little bit too foodie? Can I find anything that's like not foodie vibed? I guess, no. I really like this painting and I love how like minimalistic it looks, but it's just too foodie for me. It's meant to be used for a kitchen, but this is not a kitchen. This is a sitting room. Okay, maybe if I just make you smaller and just do like a tiny little collage together and I make that green and I also make you green. Oh, wait a second. I'm adding greenery through my paintings. Yes, that is something. It's something. It is something. Okay, it's not necessarily something I want, but it's something. If I use this little green welcome mat here, and then we could also use like a little ottoman here. So like you can just be waiting for someone to come home. Could be like, where are you? I was waiting all night. Where are you? Okay. You know, like that kind of thing. But I'm almost kind of thinking maybe this is where you just like put your shoes a little bit more wholesome than being interrogative and, you know, clingy like that. But also maybe you could just like sit here and watch the nature and your life go by. I think that's pretty cute. Okay. I'm trying not to clutter this place because it's supposed to be like Japandi minimalistic style, but I'm really struggling. Like, I'm really, really struggling. And I think this lamp has got to go. I think maybe something bigger has had to make an appearance here. God, I'm in the plants category. Did you see? I didn't even know I was doing that. Genuinely, like, that's a problem. Like, that's an issue. I did not even know. Oh, wait a second. This is not a plant. It's in the lights category. What if I use you? Okay, that is cheating almost. But it's not in the plants category. What if I use it at least like in here somewhere? Like, just give me this one thing. Where can I use it? Like, I don't really think it's going to make any sense inside. But maybe that's cheating though, isn't it? Because it looks like a plant. What do I do? Maybe I will just leave it out here somewhere, like outside. I don't know what to do. I'll leave it out there for the moment. I can't believe that I found an object that's actually a plant inside. It's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, maybe I could use this weird block thing here. Like, that's something different. I never use this. So maybe this could be like a fun little, like, sculpture, light, bedside locker kind of vibe. Like, don't put your drink. Well, you can probably put your drinks up here if you wanted to. But maybe that's kind of cool. And then I'll have to pick out another lamp. Like, I'm almost thinking something stupidly large like this. Take up that space. That is stupidly large though, isn't it? But like, maybe that is just what we have. Like, we don't have anything else, but we've got this big lamp here. Maybe I could scale it down a little. I actually kind of like that idea because you wouldn't really have anything else here. So no one really would be walking here. But now that I think about it, I feel like I should move everything just like the slightest bit over to fill up that space so your Sims won't want to walk over there. You can stay. I'll almost like put you out like this a little bit. Is that cool? I really don't know what's cool anymore. Okay, I think I've decided I'm not going to use that plant, as in that light plant. Sorry, I'm like losing my word. I'm just not going to do it. I feel like that's slightly cheating. Obviously, I've got landscaping, but that's still, I feel like you still have to water that. That's still like in a pot. Even though it's not in the lights, or it's in the lights category, but it's not in the plants category, I won't use it. Anyways, I think I'm going to like not do anymore in the sitting room. I'm gonna just do a nice maybe like pendant light just to just a little bit more detail, but maybe that is kind of all that we need. And honestly, I always think that it's just so easy to do a nice little Japandi style room. You know, it's just so minimalistic, you barely need anything, but it's so hard to make things look tasteful. And I honestly don't think things look tasteful. I think it's a lamp and the light, the paintings. I think I'm ruining this aesthetic, but I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna do the cameras. I'm gonna do the bathroom and the little upstairs area with the office off camera, and then we'll do the sitting room together, and then we'll do the bedroom together. I'll just say one thing. I really wish this like selling entrepreneurs espresso table, I wish we had this kind of style table as a desk that I could like shove a chair in underneath and like put a computer on it, because I think this desk is actually really cool. I mean, this table is cool as a desk because I'm just getting so bored using the exact same desks like over and over, you know? Does anyone else feel like that? Maybe it's just me, and that's okay too. I always see like James Turner and Deligracy, when they build, they take paintings and they almost make them look like they're stacked up on something so that they're not like put up on the shelf, or they're not put up on the wall. They're like almost sitting on the shelf, and I'm after doing that there with some like clutter on this desk, and I kind of like it, but I kind of don't at the same time. So you can let me know if that's a cool idea, if I should do that again maybe. But there's something that I like about it, but then there's something that makes me feel like that looks so bad and so cluttered that it almost makes me feel like that's such a dated look. But anyway, I'm gonna try it anyways for now. And also, I do have 2 extra curtains here because you can see downstairs door is peeking through there, so it's pissing me off. So I just covered it up with some extra little bits there. I think I'm just gonna leave saucers for these 2 rooms. Okay, I did the bathrooms downstairs. Pretty straightforward little bathroom. You get the idea. And then let's work a little bit on the bedroom. So, and I want to try minimalism. Like, I don't want this to look too cluttered. I already feel like these 2 rooms, like the hallway and the sitting room, or sorry, the office, I feel like I've made them a little bit too cluttered already for my liking, but maybe there's a way of making this room feel less cluttered and more minimalistic. And I almost feel like the beds, if it has like colorful bedspread, that's already not minimalistic enough, because the person that lives here, obviously, you know, they've picked their own bed sheets, and that's not minimalistic enough. I almost feel like literally using that as a bed, you know, and then maybe these as bedside lockers. Usual scenario. So, oh, that's a plant as well. Oh, You know what? When you're not allowed to use plants, you really figure out how many plants there are around the place. And I don't know how to feel about that. That's insane. I'm not going to use that because it goes against everything I've just done downstairs. But I like the fact that there is methods of using greenery, you know, in different ways. I think I'm going to use these as bedside lockers, though. I think these look pretty cute. We're going to put down a nice little golden alarm clock, of course. Oh my God. And I was literally, do you know what I was going to do? I was going to do that. And like, how beautiful does that look? But I'm not allowed to do that, okay? So I use something different and I don't know what that thing is going to be, but I need something on the bedside locker. What am I going to do? A mortar and pestle? Bonus bunny? Like, what am I supposed to put on that bedside locker? What is this? Jesus, what even is that? Some plates? I mean, you could have a midnight snack. We could just do like a piece of art, actually. Is there a green one? That's a pretty weird thing to have on your bedside locker. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. If I just do a nice clock, minimalism, Sandra, minimalism. Okay, a nice, beautiful clock, and then just a singular lamp on the other side. Like a nice, singular, boring lamp. That's actually really nice. That's really cute. Okay, we will do a little thing here. Also, wait, now we'll do this first. If I actually do this here, I like scaling them down so you can kind of still see the window. I know it kind of defeats the purpose of a curtain if I'm making it smaller and it's reducing its purpose. A plant should go there, of course, but we can't do that. But anyways, I like scaling down things like this. We'll do a nice big dresser here. We could go for the Japanese themed one because that one is actually pretty cool. But actually, no, the items in it are not minimalistic enough for me. I need something that just has very little design and detail. Almost maybe something like that. But do we have the right color? No, that's not right. Oh, am I gonna have to use this one? Like, that is literally minimalism and the exact design that I want. Maybe that. And then maybe with the rug, we can bring in a little detail if I use, wait now, where's the one that has like little squares? This one. I can maybe put that at like a bit of an angle like this. Is there a different swatch of this? There's green. Maybe we could do this one. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty stunning if you ask me, I think. Maybe we could do like a nice big mirror. Like if I just do 2 mirrors like that here, I think that would be pretty interesting. And then maybe if I do another little end table kind of scenario, like accent table here. Can I make you smaller? Oh, I can, but you look hideous when you're small. Okay. What about... that's a bit big, actually. It's a bit big and the vibe is not vibing with me. I want something else here with like something else above it. I'll put a painting above the bed, so we're fine with that. But I feel like if I had like a skinnier little accent table, like if I had like one of these, but like 3/4 of that, if you get me. I feel like I need to design a pack. Maybe, yeah, like this. But if it was, wait now, can I make this bigger? What if I, wait now, I'm getting creative these days, whether I like it or not. There's something about this actually that I'm like, could this be an item if I put it together? Does it have better qualities than lonesome item? Have I just made something cool? Silence. The crickets are cricketing. I've really wanted to use this as well today for some reason. I don't know why. Does that look nice? I don't think so. See, I think on this side we have like more muted vibes, and then I'm really using stuff that are like a really bright wood. So maybe I need to tone it down a little bit. Okay, I came up with this instead. I don't know whether this is nice or not. Okay, how does that not sit up there? Why? It's a shelf and it's a skinny item, and God forbid they sit on top of each other. Maybe this is like a cute little vanity space almost thing. I don't know whether that chair is the chair that I want, but I wanted something minimalistic. I almost kind of felt like this wooden one would feel nice, you know? So it's almost like a little vanity table, a little reading nook, but it's a shelf. Like, I mean, it's definitely, most definitely a shelf. So maybe something like that is pretty cute. And I'm really missing the greenery. Like, greenery in this room, it just looks so sad and dead. Like, I think plants really do bring a life into a space. I have some plants in my room. Like, I have an aloe vera plant, and you can't see over there. I have another really kind of big plant. I don't really want to move my camera because things get a bit weird when I move my camera. But yeah, I do have plants around my house, even though, to be honest with you, I don't want them to hear it, but I do kill a lot of plants. Oh, I'm not very good at keeping them alive, but the ones that I do keep alive, I really like cherish them, because, you know, a house without plants is not really a happy house, I want to say. But without saying that, you know, as I said, I'm not necessarily the best gardener. I do kill a lot of my plants, but I still take massive pride in plants and having nice plants. Okay, I don't know why I did 2 different wooden patterns there, but maybe the idea of the different types of woods, maybe that's what brings this together. Maybe like I'm crying out for a plant in this corner. Maybe I'll just go for a nice little standing lamp here, and then maybe that will be a way to close this off and end this cursed video. And maybe I could just walk away and go buy some plants. I don't know. Is this nice? I don't know. Maybe I'll actually wait now. I want to make this space feel a bit moody, so maybe we'll get rid of 1 saucer and we will do a nice little pendant light of some sort. Nice little moody pendant light. I actually really like this one. This one is giving me Japanese vibes as well, so maybe we'll use something like this. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'm a bit torn. I'm a bit shook. I'm a bit upset. Yes, there is no plants inside the house, and you can really feel it. You can feel it. I don't like this corner over here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. I put this thing there. I don't think that should even go there. Maybe I'll delete that actually. Maybe the chair can stay there, but maybe we actually just need like a little light on that wall. Like if I do this there, that almost is like a little piece in itself. So maybe that could go there. Can I use that light anywhere else to bring some life back into this build? Maybe up here as well. Wait, actually maybe up here as well. Yeah, maybe this light is going to be the saving grace of all of this. But yeah, let me just add a few little maybe touches. I don't really want to do too much upstairs, but I'll add a few extra touches upstairs, like some loungers, and then we'll do a tour, hopefully. Okay guys, well I think I'm now complete the house. I've just done a few little extra finishing touches. I've added a little outdoor bin here as well, just in case we've got a mailbox. So I think everything is checking out. So I think the last thing we need to do is just do a little tour. I'll come on into my no household, no potted plants, no beautiful bulbs or beautiful planter pots, nothing. Okay, so we've got some nice greenery outside. I mean, I like the way the house turned out. I mean, since I went with that, I want to say Japandi style has less black and dark colors, but I kind of merged everything together into a style that I would enjoy. And I guess this house is actually pretty cute. So we've got a nice little seating area out the side here with this umbrella that I didn't know existed. I only found that in a recent video. We've got some beautiful polished greenery, this water that's defying gravity. It's beautiful, really, all of it, really nice. But yeah, the house inside itself has no green plants. So let's head on over and see what this looks like. Okay, so as you come in, obviously you're greeted with the greenery that's poking through, which I mean, I've really liked that. That is something that I really like. I hate the way that's glitching out, but just ignore it. So I guess that greenery, when you're looking at everything, it does really bring the build together. But looking at this, to me, it feels unfinished. I don't like this room, like, at all. Oh god, I feel like maybe I should have put some books or something on that thing over there, but I really don't like it. Like, I'm actually struggling to find things that I like about this room. But yeah, I guess the nice thing is that you can sit down on the couch, and like from this corner, I guess it does look okay, but I am struggling to find things that I like. Anyways, you can head on over through this side, obviously, and enter there, so that's fantastic. Let's just quickly run over here. Yes, I like this now. Looking at that area, I changed the fruit bowl just for some lemons because I thought it was just a little bit less in your face and intense and colorful, more minimalistic. So maybe actually this what you're looking at here now I like. Everything else though, not really. Struggling to process everything else. But yeah, maybe I kind of like this space over here. We've got no banister because we live on the edge, so that's of course okay. And then we've got a nice little minimalistic kitchen, which I really like it, and I love that new kitchen clutter fridge that we got. So that's an idea to put that in your game as well. This is also a functional object from the kitchen clutter kit, so I actually kind of like that. You can just click on it and say cook. But it also looks cool because I always thought when I first used it, you guys told me, I thought it was a printed out picture. Obviously it's not, Sandra. It's like an iPad or whatever. It's a tablet. So that's pretty cute anyways. Oh my god, I'm in the fridge. Oh my god, there's stuff in the fridge. Piece of cheesecake and stuff. Oh my god, there's freezer bunnies in the fridge. And they're wrecking all the eggs. Oh my god. Did you? Oh, you did not know this. Surely, or maybe you guys did know this, but there's freezer bunnies in the fridge. And they're wrecking the whole fridge. They're eating the cake. Whoa, that is crazy. I can't believe I'm spending so much time with this video in the fridge, but there's freezer bunnies in the fridge. So now, how'd you like them apples? Anyway, so we've got some storage over here, which I actually really like that. There's like some Cheerios and some green peas in there as well. So that brings in the greenery. Then we've got a nice old toilet. So again, I used the sleek bathroom kit because I love that kit. So I'm still not over it. So I used it in this bathroom. So you know that. That is ideal. And then upstairs, we've got this little nook, which I don't know. I'm still struggling to figure out whether I like that painting kind of just stacked, standing there, like leaning against the wall. I don't know if there's something about it that I like or that I dislike, but you guys can let me know if you like that idea. For there, then obviously you can look down into the greenery again. So again, that brings in the it brings the out in with the plants from the outside. And obviously we've got like that green plant on, sorry, no, we've got no green plants, but we've got that green border on the platform all around the house. So obviously that is also a way of bringing in some extra green. And then we've got an office space, which I actually really like this space. It's a little squishy, but honestly, I like the idea of having a small little squishy office, especially if you're just like typing or whatever. It kind of feels very cozy. You still have a nice window to the outside, got a nice pop of green. Obviously no plants because we're just deprived of plants, but anyways. And then the last room of the house, which is the bedroom. Okay, I think the fact that I did the ceiling with the wooden paneling, I think that actually really does save the room a little bit. It does do something for me, but again, I am missing the plants. I'm glad that I built in Mount Komorebi for this build because even through the windows, you can see the greenery and the plants coming through. So if you squint your eyes, there's still a nice balance of greenery that you have like poking through, because look at the beautiful view. I mean, I miss Japan so much. Oh, I miss it. I can't wait to go back. Fingers crossed I'll go back soon. Anyways, this video is not about Japan, but looking at this room, I actually really like it. I mean, I didn't like it at the start. Now I like it. Why is my floor glitching out over here? That is a weird line. Do you see that? That is weird. But anyways, I kind of like this. I think it's the ceiling that really saved this room in particular. We've got a little makeshift little area over here, which obviously this is totally not functional, so don't quote me on this. You know that a lot of my builds are not functional when it comes to certain aspects. Anyways, but then you can head on out here and definitely fall over the edge, but Sims don't fall over the edges, so practicality goes out the window. I also really hope your Sims can walk over this. If they can't, it's still okay. It's still a cool little thing that you have. It definitely brings the outside in, and I actually really like that aspect. So you can be chilling here with your little green bowl. I mean, that should be a plant, but I found a green bowl, so we did that. I also really like these. I scaled up one of them, so next to each other they actually look pretty cute. And again, if you want greenery, you come out to your top roof garden and you look at the beautiful greenery that you have outside. So I guess I picked a perfect lot to build a house with no potted plants, and with a little bit of ingenuity we did manage to make a pretty interesting space. I mean, it's that sitting room. There's something about that sitting room I don't like, but I'm willing to take a creative hit with this one. I will let you guys let me know what you think of this, because there's something that I like about it, something that I don't like about it. I've used that lamp in the corner, that big long lanky lamp. I don't like that lamp, but I wanted to fill the space with other objects that I don't usually like or use instead of plants. So you can let me know if you like this, but overall I'm happy with the way that I've designed this space to have that greenery inside the house, because other than that, this house has 0 potted plants, and we were very close to putting some potted plants in by accident. I mean, I'd like to think it has no potted plants. You guys can let me know maybe if I made a mistake somewhere, but I would like to think that I didn't make any mistakes. I'd like to think that there are no potted plants. Obviously there's greenery outside with the landscaping, but I don't think there's any potted plants. So let me know what you think of this build, guys, down in the comments, and let me know if you have any other ideas, just those that I can try out as well. I mean, overall I think this is a pretty interesting build. Looking at the upstairs as well, I think that's pretty cute with that little window looking out into the little green nook. So yeah, guys, if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. As I just mentioned, if you have any other crazy challenge ideas like this, well, this isn't too crazy. I mean, I bet you there's people out there that don't even have this issue and that never use plants because maybe they don't like plants, and that's totally fine. So maybe this is a non-plant lover's dream home. I don't know, but let me know if you have any other ideas such as those, and I will definitely try them out. Check out some of my previous videos that I have linked for you down below. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!